Well, Taiwan has called on China to release a fishing boat seized by the Chinese Coast Guard on Tuesday evening. Now, 2 Taiwanese and 3 Indonesian sailors were on board. Beijing said the vessel was illegally fishing, but Taipei noted that detained boats are typically released by China after paying a fine.
海巡署呼吁陆方不要用政治因素处理这起事件，并应简述说明理由，依程序放船放人。
Have a look at the map there. The incident happened 44 kilometers from Kinmen Islands, which are just 5 kilometers from the Chinese mainland. Now, 2 Chinese Coast Guard vessels intercepted the squid fishing boat. Taiwan then dispatched 3 patrol boats to the scene, but one was blocked by China's ships. Chinese Coast Guard brought the fishing boat to a port in Guangzhou. Taiwan's forces chose not to give chase to avoid escalating the situation. Now, China says the apprehended sailors violated the seasonal fishing ban and illegally trawled in the area. Beijing also says its Coast Guard warned and expelled Taiwanese vessels that tried to interfere. Taiwan has urged its fishermen to be more alert for possible risks. The Taiwanese Coast Guard also pledged to strengthen its patrols. Indonesia's foreign ministry says its consulate general in Guangzhou will assist the detained Indonesians. Deborah Wong joining us live from Shenzhen with the latest on this story. Deb, given that the clashes between the Taiwanese fishermen and the Chinese Coast Guard have been going on in the past, what does this latest situation say about cross-Strait relations?
Well, for context, it's not uncommon for China and Taiwan to detain each other's trespassing fishing boats. Now, according to Taiwanese boats have been seized in the last 20 years for fishing during the closed session, during the closed season, as what we've seen in this latest development. Now, authorities say they are normally released very quickly, and so Taiwanese authorities have demanded an explanation as to why the sailors have not yet been released. They also asked China not to use political factors in this particular situation. Now, this follows similar incidents. This year, Taiwan's Coast Guard detained about 5 boats from China, and in February, 2 Chinese fishermen drowned while being chased by the by Taiwan's Coast Guard. Beijing then stepped up patrols in the area in the days that followed, and Taiwan's Coast Guard said that they will be doing the same following this latest incident. Cross-strait tensions show no signs of slowing when we consider what's been happening between Taiwan and China lately. Just recently, Taiwan hiked up its travel alert for China, Hong Kong and Macau to its 2nd highest level after Beijing expanded laws that could carry out death penalty against what it terms as diehard separatists. Now, China considers Taiwan President William Lai to be a dangerous separatist and has also rebuffed any of his attempts to engage in high-level talks because China does see Taiwan as an inalienable part of its territory, and they also believe that reintegration is inevitable.
But that's not the only flashpoint, is it? In the broader context, we're also seeing violent clashes between Chinese and Philippine Coast Guards in the South China Sea last month. Fair to say that China's taking a more forceful stance in its maritime disputes?
Well, it certainly looked like they are going in that direction. Beijing is expanding its military presence across South China Sea, and by that measure, taking a firmer stance against what it calls and what it sees as violations to its sovereignty. So there have been several confrontations in the region in the last 6 months, including the latest one in June at 2nd Thomas Shoal. So there were clashes where one Philippine sailor actually lost his thumb. Now, the U.S., a close ally of the Philippines, condemned China's actions when the incident took place. They called it they say that it could actually spark a larger conflict in the region, but China has maintained that it was a necessary measure to protect its sovereignty. China lays claim to about 80 to 90% of the South China Sea, but at the same time, Brunei, Malaysia, Philippines, Taiwan and Vietnam also claim parts of it. However, in the last few days, we are seeing some tensions scale down a little bit. Just on Tuesday, China and the Philippines, they met to de-escalate tensions. particularly at Second Thomas Shoal. And they also said that they wanted to manage differences through negotiations. Both sides exchanged views on improving maritime-related communication as well as promoting dialogue between the coast guards on both sides. So for now, we are seeing calmer waters, but it is uncertain as to how this could play out in the long term. Back to you.
All right, Deb, appreciate that, Deborah Wong. She is live from Shenzhen.